Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started in a few minutes. We're going to give a few people a few more minutes to join. So just bear with us for a minute or two while we give everybody a chance to hop on.
All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Voice for Pest for Live. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I'm Bryn Langford, and joining me as always is Michael Wheelock. Today, we will be discussing how our AI voice agents work and explain everything that they all entail.
Absolutely, Brent. Excited to have everybody here today. Just as a reminder, we will record today's call and get it out for everyone. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer those either live or through the chat. You will see a new face on today's call. Elise from our accounting department is joining us. She's going to we're rolling out a new component to the webinar today, and we're calling it Tips from the Field. So at the end of the call, she's going to give us a tip as an existing customer of something that you may or may not already be doing, but hopefully you benefit from it. So Bryn, you want to go over what everyone can expect from the call today, or would you prefer me?
I'll do it. So first, you will see how AI voice agents answer calls 24/7 without adding any staff. We will see how AI applications integrate directly with your phone system and CRM. We will also see what qualifies and routes calls intelligently and ways AI supports your office after hours, during peak times, and overflow.
Yeah, absolutely, Bryn. So thanks for kicking us off. I thought I'd pause for a second and talk about a little bit about AI bots in the industry. And we've seen a prolific rollout of AI bots for the past probably 18 months in the industry. It's really ramped up during this off season for everyone. You'll know that Voice for Pest and Voice for Turf were not the first ones to the market with an AI voice application. That was a very strategic decision on our part. This is a very volatile world, and we wanted to let some of the dust settle, so to speak, before we rolled out and learn what we could from the early adopters to ensure that everyone's successful. So when you look at our AI ecosystem, and we call them AI applications and AI agents, you'll notice that we don't use the word bot because it's much more than a bot. The first thing I should highlight out is all of these AI agents become members of your phone system. We've seen a lot of the early adopters actually abandoning their AI bots to a level of about 70%. And one of the big reasons and feedback that we got for that was because when a call is forwarded to an external AI bot, it pretty much goes into a black hole until the call is over and you can listen to the call recording. That presents a challenge because by then damage can be done, customer satisfaction issues have already happened, and customer retention issues do pop up. With our AI agents, one of the key differentiators, because it is part of the phone system, is you can actually listen in live to all the calls just like you would a human agent. You wouldn't hire a new employee, even if they had experience in your industry, to come take phone calls, train them, and then just turn them loose on the phone without listening in and doing a level set of how they're representing your business. Same goes true for the AI applications that you're deploying in your ecosystem. We're going to encourage you to monitor those calls for the first 24, 48 hours to see how receptive your customers are, to ensure that the AI application is meeting their needs, and to ensure there's not customer service issues that you need to quickly address. Not only can you listen live to them, you can barge in, take over phone calls, etc. The second differentiator overall is the escalation to a human. Because the AI application and the AI agents are part of your core phone system, it is very easy to give customers the option to talk to an automated assistant versus waiting for a human versus leaving a voicemail. That allows the customer to interact with you in a way that the customer wants to. That's our goal, is to support your process. We don't want to put the technology in front of the process. The way you do business is the most important thing, and we want to honor that and keep that in place. Then if a customer does get on with an AI agent and they do want to escalate to a human, the AI agent can quickly see whether a human is available or not in the system. It can, if it does transfer to a human, I should highlight, it will play a summary of the interaction to that point to your employee before the customer's on the call. That gives your employee the edge up, and the customer doesn't have to start from scratch, because that's a big frustration that we've heard as well. Or if it's after hours, it can simply take a message and allow you to follow up. Now, as we look at this slide, you'll see that there are two different types of AI applications. There are integrated and non-integrated AI applications. We're going to talk about the difference between the two here today, but today our AI applications can integrate into Field Routes and PestPack. I hear that Real Green is very close to rolling out, hopefully within the next 30 days. It's all on the back end, configuring fields and things like that to make sure that everything maps up as we speak. But let's start off with a non-integrated bot. Guys, I apologize, I'm gonna pause. I do this every time and I forgot to do it this time. Bren, I always ask you a random question. And I was
Yes.
so excited to jump in that I forgot to do this. Bren, what was your New Year's resolution?
Okay, this might be contradicting, but it's to spend more. I'm very good at not spending my money, and I feel like I need to spend more. Don't ask my parents, they'll probably yell at me for saying that.
On anything specific?
No, just anything.
Okay, that really contradicts a lot
It
of,
is.
okay, so guys, get us back on track, talk about non-integrated AI applications. So the Receptionist AI application is the first step in your AI voice journey. Whether you deploy an integrated or bot or integrated agent or application or not, we're going to encourage you to start with the AI Receptionist. Let's handle the low-hanging fruit. Let's crawl, walk, run on this journey together. So the AI Receptionist is going to handle calls for you 24/7, all the time. That allows you to change your Google listing to always being open, because a interaction always happens when someone calls you. It's going to allow you to overflow calls if your team is super busy and have an AI agent interact with your customer, or it can triage calls to ensure that the customer goes to the right department in your organization or the right person quickly. Now, with the AI receptionist agent, it does more than just take a message. I'll give you an example. Customer requested, hey, I've got new prospects that call in. I want to go out and do an in-person evaluation of their issues most of the time. Can the AI receptionist application just set up an appointment for the next afternoon if it's after hours? When we come in, we will reach out to that customer, but it's going to pre-set up a inspection for that customer on your behalf. That way you are locking in that prospect to your service. They're not calling around to someone else to get service quicker. And then when you come in the morning, you can have a human resource reach out and drill down that time or potentially give a price and close that prospect on the phone. That is called a non-integrated AI application because it's not integrated into your CRM like Field Routes, PestPac, Real Green, Aspire, or others. Okay. So moving on, an integrated application is one that's actually working in your ecosystem using your tools. You've known for years that we have deep integrations into your software. In some cases, we have deeper than anyone else in the industry can do based off of our long-term relationships with these softwares. The dispatch application, it will actually schedule appointments in your routes for you. If you build your routes out in Field Routes, it's going to look at things like, does the customer on their account have a preferred day of the week that they want treatment? Do you have a preferred technician that the customer wants to interact with? Does the customer have an issue that's in scope of the coverage that you're existing provided? Do they want ant treatment, or is this something like a beehive that could be a special scenario? Last thing we want is for us to schedule an appointment with a technician for a termite issue when they're just on general pest control. Brenda, does that make sense to you?
It does. I do have a question for
Yeah.
anyone as a customer. Is this completely customizable for their company?
So a high level of customization is available, but that being said, we don't call it fully customized. The
Okay.
reason being is we've looked at best in practice policies, and we've implemented those. And remember, when you're deploying our AI agents, there is no setup fee, there is no term. Okay, so we're not gonna, if you've got some oddball scenario, we want to talk through that and make sure that it will meet your needs. But again, that's why it's important to roll out the receptionist first, get used to the receptionist, and then expand into the integrated bots, because you're talking about impacting a whole different policy in your organization. If Sally Joe comes in at 4 o'clock every afternoon and manually configures your routes for tomorrow, you're talking about adding an automated tool that's going to look at your routes and try to place the customer in the appropriate route. And yes, it does look at location. I should have highlighted that earlier as well. Looks at the customer's geolocation. But when it's offering those slots in your routes, those are real slots. They're not dummy slots. And so we want to make sure that your policies and procedures are going to fit with this type of deployment. Does that make sense, Bren?
It does.
Absolutely. So once we get past the dispatch application that's going to set appointments. Now, before I move on, I should highlight, we can offer this service to just your existing customers. Remember, native to the phone system is a functionality called intelligent call routing. It looks and says, is this caller an existing customer of yours, or are they a new prospect, by looking up the caller ID? Last thing I want to do is offer dispatch capabilities to a new prospect that hasn't signed a contract with you. So a example workflow would be a call comes in, I recognize that as an existing customer. All my human resources are tied up, they're on the phone or working on something else, they're not available to take the call. The virtual agent will then come on the line and say, Miss Customer, I understand you're existing customer of ours. You can choose to wait to a human, or if you're calling to schedule your next treatment, I'm happy as a virtual assistant to help you with that. We're a big proponent of letting your customers know they're talking to a virtual assistant versus just sending them in the black hole, trying to trick them that they're talking to a human, and then it resulting in again, some customer satisfaction issues. So building on that is the inbound sales agent. So we're taking it to the next step. This is for your non-customers that are calling in that are looking for service. This tool will be able to quote rates to the customer and even send contracts through your software, and finally schedule the first appointment when that contract is executed. So we're really taking the load off of the human resource but still keeping the personal touch. So now someone calls you at 10 o'clock at night, your team can finally take a break because the AI application is going to set the customer up for you in the system. The next application is the billing application. So the billing application can handle redundant billing issues that customers are calling in about. Hey, I need to update my credit card, or I need to make a payment. It can even initiate outbound collection communications to your customer to collect those payments for you at a fraction of the price of paying a human to go in and make all those dials. It is going to take the payment over the phone. So some of the competition out there will send a text message and they can pay online. We have the customer captured. We want to hold their attention span, and we want to collect this revenue for you as well. So to this point, we've been talking about voice interactions with the AI application. There is another AI application that is very powerful that primarily uses SMS. So this, it can be used on any software. You give us a list of prospects. It is great for things like upsell opportunities. Do you have a list of existing customers coming into this season that you want to upsell into mosquito treatments or termite treatments? Using the SMS channel, it will reach out to these prospects or upsell opportunities and actually go close business for you. So I was in a presentation recently with the Backbone AI team in our ecosystem, and we rolled out an early adopter customer before we productized these products last spring. So that's how long they've been live and working with customers using them. By combining both the voice agents to handle inbound communications and offload those from your human capital, keeping the human capital in your most important interactions, whether it's in time zone or during business hours sales calls, my human is going to be my best sales agent. I want them to close that business. So let me offload the scheduling to the AI powered applications. Combining that with this outbound sales agent, they actually got a 7x return on their investment. And it was a 7-figure return. They're a pretty sizable customer. Now, the one area that I want to caution you is, can it, you're going to deploy this, you're going to have all this revenue coming in, you're going to get really excited. Keep in mind, there is a diminishing return, meaning You want to bombard your customers once a month with a new service, we're going to try to pull back the reins on you and advise you that, hey, number one, you don't want to oversaturate your existing customers, and you definitely don't want to tick off a prospect by hitting them too many times. Brent, I see there's some questions in the chat. I think we're going to try to field some of these. Yes, it does set up the payment terms for new starts. Chrissy, she asked, can it put the credit card on file? Yes. Yes, Stephanie, it can take the credit card information. Christine, we need to talk about your specific scenario on the pricing. We can set up some general guidelines and rules around the pricing. We typically see property size coming into effect more on our green customers, which are lawn and landscape, versus our blue customers. So this is an example of where we would want to talk to you, understand your policies. But it's very possible that the AI application can collect that square footage information on the phone call and give pricing based off of that. There you go. All right. So in summary, using this, you're going to free up your human capital, your human resources, 30 to 40% by eliminating repetitive tasks for them. The AI applications and agents can set up dispatches automatically. They're not going to have your technicians running from one side of your city to the other side and back and forth. They're going to look at efficiencies around that. They're going to offer dispatch timelines that are real in your routes to customers, but they're always going to do so with your processes in mind and the human capital to back it up if the customer wants to interact with a human. So, as I mentioned before, you want to start with the low-hanging fruit in the call, walk, run journey. So Christine, in your case, when you're talking about pricing and things like that, that's closer to the run part of the journey. Let's start with your after hours calls that are going to voicemail already. Capture your prospects and sales agents and start regaining revenue 24/7 for your business, and then scale into the integrated applications as appropriate based off of your business model.
Michael, what would you say the time frame is for the crawl, walk, run?
Yeah, so for receptionist agent, that's a good question, Brent. We can get it up and running for you in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Generally, when we deploy that first receptionist agent, what we're going to do is we're going to have our pre-installation scoping sessions to understand how your business works and get it tuned to your business as a general rule of thumb. But then we're going to run 20 calls through the system. After around 20 calls, we're going to want to do a fine-tuning session with you where we review the results and make sure that we address any minor things that are popping up.
Okay.
Guys, keep questions coming in chat, but in the interest of time, because it's 24 after, as you know, we try to keep these sessions at 30 minutes. I've brought on our accounting guru, Elise, who's going to go over some tips that she sees frequently with customers. Elise, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear.
All right, wonderful. Thank you for having me and for sharing this information. I know I learned something. But my name is Elise Tsai. I am part of our accounting department. And what I'd like to bring to the forefront right now is our bill center that we offer. This is my debut as well. So my daughter just told me to break a leg. the bill center, it has to do with the accounting side, and it's where you can view invoices, make payments, and that kind of stuff. It's separate from the any domain login you may have. So first, what I wanted to mention is it does require a registration. So you would set up a username and password.
So where do they
And
go
you
to
go,
do that, Elise?
you go to ats.billcenter.net, and you're gonna come up to this screen. And if you have a username and password, you're all set to go. And if you need to sign up for an account, you go where that little green arrow is, sign up for an account. There you would register, and there's two ways for registration. Basically, when you're brand new with us and you're set up in our system, you do get an email that walks you through the process to get the account number and the registration code. But if you lost that in your emails, you would need to contact us, and we can provide you with that information. And I think the next slide might show that okay, so once you get that, the account number and the registration code over to the left there, you would go ahead, set up through your email, just like any other kind of login that you would make. And it brings you to a summary screen that'll show you what's open. And the tab that you would use the most would be view and pay bills. And like I said, you can see invoices and payments that were made, and you can also see that on the summary page. But the tab up top there, view and pay bills, you do have the option to set up auto pay, which a lot of customers really like because it just automates things. So through the auto pay, you have the option to pay with a credit card or an ACH. And there are no fees to process your payments this way. You can also edit it at any time.
Elise, I can't even go get a hamburger without getting hit with a credit card fee. That's amazing that we still do that.
It is, I agree. It's like 4% fee up front. But yeah, we're not passing along any charges to our customers. So you don't have to set up auto pay. You can pay one time. You can do just a one-time payment. And again, the bill center itself is optional, but it's very helpful. Say you want to review a past invoice, or if you want to, make a payment. So yeah, like I said, you can do ACH, credit card, and you can change it at any time.
Elise, a quick question on this. If
Yep.
I set up auto pay, do I still get a copy of my bill every month?
Okay, the way the system works is you do get a copy of your bill every month, and it will just state on the bill that you are set up for auto pay. So not to, that it's going to be taken care of. And you can choose what time of the month you would like it run, if the 15th works better, or if the beginning of the month or the end of the month. The default is always the end of the month. But as I said, that can be changed at any time. And yeah, I think it's very it's very easy to use, I think. So if you have any questions, you can always contact us. If you don't have this email to set up the registration any longer, that's what we're here for. And you can contact us to set this up yourself, and we'll provide you with the account number and the registration code. And like I said, that's something that you would need from us, and it's completely separate from like if you have a domain login. So that's how you would access it. The bill center.
Awesome.
Anything else? Yeah,
so guys, if you have any questions,
toggle.
Here's how you can get a hold of our accounting team here.
Yes, so I'm Elise, and my coworker is Chrissy. I've been here for like 29 years, so I kind of have grown with the company, and even this webinar, it's very insightful to me because like how things continue to grow and change, and it's kind of amazing. So yeah, Chrissy's been here plus 10 years, and we're here for you for any accounting needs.
Awesome. Elise, I appreciate your question. Guys, we had a ton of questions come in the chat here. I'm doing my best to go through those and answer those. It's a bit overwhelming, the number of questions. So what I'm going to recommend is, in the interest of time, so you're not just staring at me as I type answers, I'm going to take everyone's questions offline. Bren, we should get a record of all these. I'll stay on, we'll figure it out. But if you do want to discuss what we've talked about more around the AI applications, the best way to get a hold of us for questions or pricing is at this hello@voiceforpest.com email address. In the interest of trying to keep the call at 30 minutes, I'm going to let everyone go, but know that if I haven't answered your question, we will respond to you. Appreciate everyone's time. Be on the lookout for the next topic that's coming up. I think we're going to talk about omni-channel contact center, if I understand correctly, which is where your resources can handle both voice, email, SMS, and web chat all in one interface. Very productive tool. Really like that tool. Thanks everyone for your time today. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.
Thanks for having me too.